You get dealt some cards in life. You know, and your hand might be better than mine at times, and my hand might be better than yours at times, and you just got to play with the cards that you've got. If you're worried about what you've got, you might miss it, you know, what your next move is.
My father was from Manchester. He was a bikie over there. But he was obsessed with the ocean as well when he came out. We had this little place down Cronulla called the Alley. I just used to get left down the beach, you know, for $2. And, you know, I think even from kindergarten, maybe 5 or 6 years old, an immense amount of freedom. Yeah, I just fell in love with that. Where we grew up, there was a lot of reef breaks, like a risk-taking space that I really enjoyed. Got me started, got me sponsorship, and then that led to competing. And we were on the road for 250 days a year. It was an escapism, like it was to get away from what we had at home.
Probably about 15 or 16 years old, I've known Andy. He's a couple of years older, and I kind of always looked out for him.
To me, he always seemed like one of the leaders. You know, all the Aussies would catch up and go together, and Kingy for me was sort of like an older brother whilst on tour.
We created our own family on the road and created relationships and friendships that have lasted a lifetime.
Super funny and surfed amazingly too.
You know, he was always really good in big waves, like in Hawaii and stuff. He stood out.
It was kind of weird because he just knew everyone in Cronulla, or everyone knew him. Like, you're walking down the street and everyone's like, "Andy, how you going?" You stop in every 5 minutes. His community around the board riders is just so important to him, and you know, he considers his family.
It was just after Newcastle. But I was at the pinnacle of my career as a professional at that stage. You know, I was like a super fit, young athlete, like independent, and I was celebrating at a club. But there was like a group of football players, there's about 8 or 9 of them, and it was all cool. And then we went outside. I was only 26, 27 at the time, and you know, I've grown up in this town, and you know, like if you can't speak to my, you know, like my girlfriend like that, sort of just eyes glazed over and went across the road, and you know, started fighting with the guy that had actually said it, and then one of his friends jumped over the top of Nadine and hit me without me even seeing it. My head hit the gutter, and from then on, that was just like, you know, instant silence. Smashed both my cochleas, so all the equilibrium was gone. No concept or perception of height, width, depth. It's just that pure terror. And waking up in that state, and the glitches, like not remembering things, like, you know, like, yeah, that was... Just being a surfer from the age of 5 years old and going through that whole journey, and everything I was ever rewarded for, or anything that I was ever acknowledged for, was purely just surfing. That was still my only identity.
You know, surfing was everything to King, and as it is, like, you know, when you dedicate your life to something like that, taken away, like, it's something that means everything to you.
If I didn't get back in the water like this, I don't know what I would have done.
Being an athlete, I guess, the doctor's saying that you won't surf again and you won't be able to do that. It was just, well, you know, that's what I do, and I know how to do that, and, you know, more screw you sort of thing.
It took about 4 or 5 referrals, and I personally had no idea what cochlea was, or even know that it existed. That was where there was hope.
Getting those scans done to see if the nerve was okay, to see if he was suitable.
When I got switched on, it was only 2 weeks before I'd virtually remapped it and I started to pick up on accents and identify every single sound that I had. I applied for a injury wildcard and I went back on tour. So I went back on tour like 9 months after the accident. I competed at Pipeline for the first time back on tour and I made the quarterfinals. I hadn't evolved past still being a professional athlete, so I still wanted to come back. One of my hooks was that independence. I've become super dependent.
He had changed inside, you know, like he can't not change going through something like that.
You know, like, I just wasn't in a good space and I was like, I need to figure out who I am and what the new person is.
I think he wanted to go and experience the world a lot more, and you know, so he did crazy trips to all around the world and just went and found himself again, really. That was, for him, relearning who he was as a person and relearning what he wanted in life.
I invited Nadine on that journey. When I'm into Everest, and we trekked together and we got up to like Kalapata Ridge, like it was like 19,000 feet, and I proposed to her.
5,500 metres, 18,200 feet, and I just proposed to the love of my life, and she said yes.
Like, yeah, we were in that for that. We're in that for that long haul.
It definitely put him on that path of going down the coaching route. So I'm not too sure whether or not that was his goal eventually, but he fell into that. And he was really good at, like, he helped like Mick Fanning win his world title.
It would have been hard to stuff it up, really, like with everything that you ever wanted for yourself. I had the budget to do for those athletes. 10 go through each year to go into the top 36. 5 of my athletes, we graduated together into that top period of time. And then I graduated with them and went on to do the world tour where I still remain today.
You know, I think he's the best coach in the world, really, so.
You ever go surfing with him, he's always so happy in the water. He'll be screaming and hollering, and you know, people will be looking around going, who's this guy? But if you don't know him, you know, but he is the most surf-stoked person when he goes surfing. It's incredible. I think that's what he found again. It was just that passion for life and that passion to be in Mother Nature, and found that passion to keep him going each and every day.
I'm speechless, man. I didn't think that would happen in a lifetime. Like, because without sound, it's always like without equilibrium, it's always like a rocking boat. Like, you kind of get a little bit seasick. And then that time, that was the most level and calmest. Like, it was like feeling that connected with sound again. Like, that actually felt like beforehand. That felt before the accident. I haven't felt like that in 13 years, and I've forgotten it. Like, I'd actually forgotten. I've forgotten how important it is. Okay. Thanks, man.